All right, we want to finish this up here real quick. So we're going to go back here. I've got a photo credit written here. I'm going to spec the photo credit to Helvetica. It's just Helvetica Medium. I can type that in. Helvetica, just regular. Okay, 7 point, right? 7 point. Just to be very small. Okay, and I'm going to spec the where is the let's see, first cut lines 9 on 10.5, which is our caption. So, and that'll be Helvetica 9 on 10.5, 10.85 I would notice, right? So there's our caption in there, and then we're going to grab this and move it down. Make sure we've got room for this here, so I'm going to move this right here, and I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to justify this flush right and move it so that it's perfectly at the edge here. Okay, and then we'll move this down a little bit just to, okay, so there's that, and then I'm going to move this up. Holding down the shift key, I can move things without, we just want to make sure it's not too much white space or too little white space. Okay, so I'm going to turn my grid back on here so I can see, and you can see that this is flush left. Okay, and this is important to turn off that grid right about now, because turn off your grids, because then you can kind of see what you're doing in terms of white space. Okay, and I'm going to click on this, hold down the option key and zoom out a little bit just to kind of get a feeling of what it looks like. That's looking okay. And finally, I want to make sure the legs match. Okay, and we don't have any widows, and this is kind of the hardest part right here. I'm going to hit save again. Alright, so now it just so happens that the legs match, but there's a widow here. And a widow is at the end of a column or at the top of a column. An orphan is if there's, let's say, just one or two words here. That's called an orphan at the top. It's called a widow at the bottom. So I want to get rid of that widow by going here, selecting that paragraph, and changing the tracking to +10 up to +30 or to -30, and see how that pushes that and changes the tracking, but you don't really notice it. You start to notice it a little bit about 30. So there I've got 2 lines. But let's say I really wanted to, I had one more line I needed. And in order to do that, what I do, now it just so happens that these match up. That's a good thing. But let's say they didn't. Okay, and I wanted to add one more line. What I would do is go and find a paragraph that's very close to pushing over. Okay, and I would change this, and you'll notice down here it's going to add one more line. See? And so we just added a line here, which added the line here that we needed. So let's say we want to do the opposite. Let's say we needed to pull one line. I'd find a line like this that was very close to being up one line, and I would go to negative. And there we go. So now we have that extra line. And this is useful when we start changing, doing multiple columns, etc. So I did that to get it for the lines to match up. And finally, what I'm going to do is just kind of massage it. You know, if this was too close, I'm moving this text up. That's kind of too close. Okay, maybe this is too far away. You know, so we have to kind of massage it by eye to see if there's enough white space below the headline, above the headline. This is a little loose up here for me, so I'm going to bring this up tighter. Bring that up tighter, so that feels like a unit. I can move this up, and then I can move this up one more line, and that should do it. And that's how you do the project.